When I finally made the decision to quit smoking weed and committed to seeing that decision through, my life changed forever. And it continues to change based on the tools, resources, and characteristics that I've developed throughout my journey of quitting smoking weed. And I want to share that with you guys today. If you're new to the channel, my name's Dr. Frank. I'm the founder of AddictionMindset recovery coaching programs, which are dedicated to helping people quit nicotine, THC, energy drinks, and adult media content, substances I once struggled with. To learn more about our paid or free program resources, be sure to check out the pinned comment or the video description. I have a full copy of the 7-step guide to quit smoking weed today, available for immediate download in there. This past weekend, I was fortunate enough to witness my wife giving birth to our first child. We had a little baby boy this past weekend. I still haven't had time to take off the bands. And going into this pregnancy, there's been a lot of excitement, a lot of anticipation, and certainly a lot of anxiety. I was in the hospital with my wife for a total of 3 nights because she had a C-section. And during these nights, we spent 24 hours a day with our child in this small hospital room, okay? You have a bed, you have a bathroom, you have a TV, all that stuff. And I underestimated dramatically how challenging those 3 nights would be. My wife was in the process of recovering from a major surgery, and I now have an infant, a newborn, and I have absolutely no idea what it is I'm doing to take care of this baby. On top of that, you are extremely sleep deprived. So, I mean, you're talking for a total of 3 days, maybe 6 hours of sleep if I was lucky. I did not expect that challenge going into this process, okay? And that left me feeling very, very overwhelmed by day 3. And I've had other points in my life, and this is where we're going with this, where I haven't known exactly what I was doing, where I was excited and nervous at the same time, and where I was very, very overwhelmed. And that's somewhat how I felt when I was getting rid of said addictions: nicotine, THC, energy drinks, adult media content, particularly nicotine and THC. In this moment, I remember laying in bed on, this would have been Tuesday night. The baby had not slept during the day, had not slept at night. It's now 3 in the morning, 3:30 in the morning. And he is incessantly crying, screaming at the top of his lungs, and has been since the moment he came out of my wife's womb. And in that moment, I was like, oh my God, I don't know what to do next. I don't even know how to respond to this because I feel like I'm going to lose it. And I'm not saying in a bad way, just like mentally, I felt like I was going to break down. And I said, Frank, you have tools, you have traits, you have talents that you learned in your recovery process, which I really haven't had to reach for these things in several years. So here I am laying on this couch, because you don't get a bed when you're the husband. They give you like a fold-out couch chair. It's essentially a chair. And I start going back to deep breathing. I start going back to meditation, stuff that I don't regularly do. After I get the baby calmed down, I take a cold shower at the hospital. I text my sister who had a baby 2 weeks before me, asking her, hey, was your baby up? Were you going through this? I text a friend who told me I could reach out if I had any trouble. I thought he meant trouble like, hey, if you need a second to go to the store and you're too busy. No, that's not what he meant. He meant trouble like if you need help kind of navigating being a new parent. He has been a parent for a while. He gave me his contact info. Instead of freaking out, instead of having a complete breakdown, I reached for tools that I developed at another point in my life when I faced an exciting yet challenging thing. And that's exactly what childbirth is, as I've learned now. It's exciting and challenging at the same time. And I was able to implement, specifically, I implemented box breathing. I implemented the physiological sigh. I implemented in the cold shower. And I implemented in reaching out for support from my family, support from a friend. And I needed all of those things to stay calm, especially when you throw in the extreme sleep deprivation. And I mean extreme sleep deprivation. The only other time I was that deprived of sleep was when I was quitting dank vape carts, the weed cartridges that were flooded here in New York. I was up for 3 days straight, truly 3 days straight without an ounce of sleep. And I went into kind of a manic episode towards the tail end of that. That was the only other time in my life I've had to deal with something that long. And then to add a crying baby into it was just a lot. I'm making this video because I always talk about, hey, when you quit smoking weed, you're going to get tools, you're going to get talents, you're going to develop skills. And I say you're going to be able to apply these skills in real life, whether it's to your career, to your relationships, to your business, to your finances. But you don't know all the scenarios where you could use these tools that quitting weed requires to apply them to future things. Like, I never would have guessed in a million years that all of the things that I learned from quitting smoking weed could be applied at childbirth to make me calm in order to better support the child and my wife and myself and all of that. I never in a million years would have thought that. And hopefully this video is making sense, because this is a very hard video for me to make between the sleep deprivation, not sure exactly what to call this topic, and my rambling because, I'm a little disoriented. But there's true benefits to quitting. And the benefit is utilizing the tools that you developed along the way of staying sober. You develop real-time tools, tips, and techniques that you can apply to almost any aspect of life. And this is essentially the definition of my company, Addiction Mindset. I have what I would call an addiction mindset. This is a mindset of discipline. This is a mindset of grit. This is a mindset of patience. That child was inconsolably crying. Even the nurses couldn't get the crying to stop. We thought maybe something was wrong, but it's just a newborn who wasn't going to stop crying. I had to be so patient, and I had to be so calm and so collected and so just zen. And the only way I was able to get there was because of all the things that I learned when I had felt that way before, so freaked out, so impatient, so not calm. When I was first quitting smoking weed, I was able to take all those tools and immediately apply them into parenting. And this is how I'm saying that weed has changed my life forever. You guys have watched other videos where I do talk about the woman I'm married to now. We met shortly after I stopped doing drugs because now I wasn't isolated. I was out on dating apps again. My career started to take a really positive turn after I quit smoking weed and putting down other substances. My physical health has dramatically improved. There's all those benefits that I talk about and other people talk about all the time. But I think the real benefit lies in the tools, traits, techniques, and characteristics that you build upon throughout maintaining a sobriety and recovery process. Because then you can apply those things to other aspects of your life, which then may make you a better parent, a better business partner, a more productive entrepreneur, a more calm spouse, husband, wife, whatever it may be. That's the real benefits of quitting. And those benefits are developed and molded over time. They don't happen right away when you first quit, but by seeing the quitting process through, hell or high water, you are inherently going to start to develop some of those things, because quitting, it requires patience. It requires determination. It's going to require tricks and tips like deep breathing and taking an ice cold shower or whatever you're going to do to stay calm. Reaching for a support network. A major thing that I did that I would have thought to do had I not been in these situations before with substance use. If you guys enjoyed this video, check out the pinned comment, okay? Check out the video description and consider booking a one-on-one coaching call. If you don't want to do that, download some of our free resources or head on over to the community section of my page where I'm going to be posting family updates of my son and my wife, and you guys are going to get a little glimpse of kind of what we have going on and how we're handling things. Because, wow, wild ride, but super exciting. Couldn't be happier. All right, I'll see you guys in one of those spots.